Welcome. Welcome to those who are here, to those who are watching in Facebook, to those who are watching the recording. And it's an honor for me to be here with you today to start sharing what I have been holding back for a little while. Let me know where you're from. Put it in the chat or write it in the comment thread if you're on Facebook. And a big, big hello from me. I just want you to know that your decision to be here is so important because you are saying yes to yourself and taking this time for yourself, which is so important. It means that you're taking a big step forward. And let's just imagine that we are in a room together, even if it's only this virtual room, and take a look at all these wonderful women here, or just imagine that we are all sitting here together and connecting our energy. I invite you also to stay present if you can and stay open and see what this hour changes for you. So I hope you're all ready to open and learn something. Oh, we have from the UK. Yes, amazing. And from Ireland. This is good. Okay, great. Welcome, welcome. I invite you to use the chat. And ask yourself why you are here today. What brought you here? Did you come here because you feel that you are a very intuitive or empathic being and you want to learn more how to use this? Or maybe there's some of you here because you want to get rid of your doubts about your inner guidance? Or maybe there's something different that has brought you here. Let me know. And write it in the comment thread or in the chat, because I just want you to know that you are in the right place. And see what you desire for yourself. You know, what is the vision that you are holding for yourself today? Maybe it's really to get into contact with your higher guidance. And if that's what you're here for, then you are in the right place. Write it down, claim it, because it will work on you. I love channeling and would like to get deeper into it. Yes, that's great. It's amazing. Yes. Well, I'm here to help you to shift the relationship with your inner guidance and to gain more trust in it, which will support you in honestly, all areas of your life. So please stay till the end, as you will learn a lot more about yourself and probably experience some really good moments. Let me tell you about me, because maybe some of you watching don't know me already. I am an author and a coach. I have been trained in cellular healing and in alchemy. I have been channeling for 30 years now. I'm going to tell you more about my story in a moment. I support women using profound cellular healing processes to help them release their blocks and free their voice and dive into their purpose so that they can live the life that they desire. I'm the founder of the Intuitive Feminine Leadership Academy, where I offer courses on channeling and on expression, unleashing your voice. Yeah, that's basically me. And let me tell you more. I have 3 children, 3 sons. And after the birth of the 3rd child, I suffered from vegetative exhaustion, which today would probably be called burnout. You know, nothing worked in my life. And something inside of me knew that I was needing help. And I also needed a lot more energy to sort of get through each and every day. At that point in my life, I was living in a village. Actually, I still live in the village, but my husband was away during the week. He only came home at the weekend because he had to work somewhere else. And of course, I was left on my own with the children, being in a foreign country and not having any help. And I was completely exhausted. Usually the kids from next door came in as well. So I usually had 5 kids at home. And I couldn't even go to the bathroom on my own. That was me. And there was one day I was outside in the village with the pram, pushing the youngest one, and there was a woman I knew who I had a lot of respect for because she was well, she was said to have healing qualities. And she took one look at me and she just says, you know, I lead a meditation group every Friday evening, and there's a lot of just women coming, and they're all ill. They all do have different types of illness. There was leukemia and cancer and burnout and everything. Anyway, I decided to go because I was able to go out on a Friday evening. So I wasn't a very spiritual person at the time. I had never ever meditated before. It was my first experience of meditation and spirituality, and my life began to take shape on again, and it started changing. You know, one of the kids went into kindergarten, and I got my energy back. I felt good about myself. I stopped crying all the time. And this woman, she had a gift. She had the gift of automatic writing. She channeled and people came to visit her, and she was able to ask questions, and she held the pen and the words were written down in the paper. And I was fascinated by this. I thought it was something really, really special. But after a few months, she told me that I could do it too. I said, no, I can't do that because I had such great respect and admiration for it. And now I know that it is actually nothing special because we can all do it. Anyway, she showed me some exercises to see if I could feel the energy, and I could. So, under her guidance, I also started to channel. And at that time, I had a homeopathic doctor. And of course, we always said, you know, what was going on in our lives so that he could treat us properly. And I told him about this, and he asked me if I would come and tell my story one evening, which I did. A lot of his patients came. And next morning, my phone started ringing, and it hasn't stopped since. Many doctors then started sending me patients where they didn't know what to do with them anymore. And I asked questions, got the answers, and helped them. And that was quite an exciting time for me. And within a short period of time, many people have asked me now if I can teach them to channel also, if I can guide them to have more connection with their inner guidance. And as I said, it's actually nothing special. We can all build a good relationship with our higher power. So I went inside myself, and now I'm ready to give you my 30 years of experience and knowledge. And for this, the first 3 steps are important. So if you are here because you know, just like I knew, that you need a new perspective, or you need to know how to build a better relationship with your higher guidance, then your time has come now. This is what has given me the amazing life that I have, because I always have clarity when I make decisions. I always know to ask, what is the next step? And I use this in my personal life and in my professional life. And there are many benefits of this, which I would love to dive into before we go into the 3 steps, the 3 first steps. So I have prepared something which I would like to show you, if I may. This onto the screen, first of all. Okay. Oops. Just a second. Okay. Yes, there are many benefits when we tap into our higher guidance, and they are really change makers. And I would like to go into these. The first point I would like to go into, the benefit actually, is trusting in decision making. Intuitive leaders make aligned decisions with complete ease, and it's a lot different than making decisions from your head. You know, we do tend to overanalyze things, or we do tend to make decisions from fear. But when we tap into our higher guidance, then we make different decision making, which is completely aligned with ourselves. Like, for example, We can tune into our inner guidance to sense when something is off or when something really feels good. We can feel it in our body, and I teach this. And we avoid making misaligned choices because of this. And the second change maker is embodied confidence and presence. When you trust your inner guidance, your higher guidance, you radiate certainty, and your presence alone can inspire other people. A woman who leads with intuition or with her inner guidance, she tends to speak more with conviction, knowing that her voice is actually carrying deep wisdom, which comes from deep inside. And it's different than just making up, what you're saying. And the third thing is authentic and soul-aligned leadership. It means speaking and doing things from the inner truth that we have, the alignment that we have with ourselves, and from a heart, a place of from our heart, rather than trying to fitting into molds and roles that we do tend to fit into, and it obviously helps us to create balance and purpose and inner peace without pushing ourselves, which is a real game changer. And number 4 is creating space for innovation and vision, because when we tap into our higher guidance, it allows us to see beyond the ordinary and to be creative, to access creative soul-led solutions instead of just following conventional strategies. We can, you've probably heard of downloads, which people get, which can show us even more effective ways to serve than whenever we stay in our head. And the next one is building deep connection and trust. And this can be, when people know when we express ourselves from truth. They feel this truth coming through. And this actually leads to building stronger teams and having deeper collaboration and making more authenticity, between people. Yeah, causes trust, and it's completely different than not using your higher guidance. So we have another 2. Number 6 is navigating challenges better with grace and resilience, because we are then centered in our trust, in clarity, rather than being centered in fear, and making decisions with clarity and without resistance, because we know this is the way we should go. This is the next step. Yeah. And the last one is leading with compassion and impact. Women who integrate higher guidance, they lead with heart-centered power. They bring more empathy and collaboration and inclusivity into the world, which is what we need right now. It could be that a woman creates a mission-driven business that uplifts others because she leads from her soul purpose, not just from profit, which is a different way to do business and a much better way to do business. So I just wanted to share that with you before we dive into the 3 steps to connect more with our higher guidance. And let's do it. Let's step into step number 1. Step number 1 is to open yourself, and we're going to do that now. Open yourself to the possibility to receive higher guidance. And this is such an important game changer, because we need actually to say yes. We can say no. We don't want to connect with the higher guidance. And if we say yes, then we start something. We start the ball rolling. We start something happens to us, And most people will admit, actually, that there is something guiding them in life. There's something greater than themselves. And it's a higher energy or maybe there's some, who or what it is, there's different names for it. But there is a kind of energy that comes directly from the universe that flows through our bones and into our hearts when we take the time to listen. And this can have so many names. It can be, God, our higher self, the universe, the mystery, angels, archangels, deceased loved ones, mentors, ancestors, masters. There's so much more. There's so many things that we can call it, and each one of us has to, we each one of us find something to call it which feels in alignment with us. I sometimes call it divinity, sometimes call it the universe, sometimes call it God or the goddess. It just depends, what comes for me and what feels good for me. It can be also a mixture of everything. Maybe you have a name for it. Let me know what your name for is, or put it in the comment thread in the Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook in the group. A very good example of this is known to most of us. Maybe you know the books from Neale Donald Walsch, which are quite old now actually, with his books called Conversations with God. And when we consciously open ourselves to this guidance, we create a kind of a channel which can work through us, which comes through us. And the more you are willing to be a channel for this, whatever wants to come through you, the more it will be possible. And there is this power outside of you and within you that loves you so much. You have to rise to meet it. This power is personal and it is also universal. And it's your choice whether you want to open yourself to it or not. It's your choice. And I have to say this. You can say yes to it, you can say no to it. And sometimes we haven't said yes to it. We haven't said yes, I need this guidance. I want this guidance. It's like when you pray, you want guidance. And your inner guidance, it can be felt in many, many different ways. It can come in many different forms because we are all so different. It can come through as inspiration. It can come through as intuition. It can come as your inner voice. Some people even hear voices. It can be like an inner knowing. It can be a feeling in your body. It can be an idea that comes through. It can come through when you open a book and read it. You may hear something on the radio or on the television. It could be something that you write. And it could be when you meditate because you create space. You don't have to sit and meditate, but you can, and we're going to go into this later. For example, I love to iron. Well, I don't love to iron, but I know when I do iron, which isn't that often, I create stillness in my mind with this meditative whatever I'm doing, and I get downloads. I get lots of information come through. So it's different for each and every one of us. Burping. Yes, I know. I have heard of people burping before. You're burping like crazy right now. You never thought the burps were a form of channeling, but you use them for healing, and they come when you're releasing stuck energy with me or my clients. I had a mentor, she did this. She burped all the time and she was clearing something for me. And I do know of a guy who does it. He burps and he yawns. It's like clearing something. So whatever is good for you, it's great that you recognize it now. That's amazing. And each and every one of us, we have our senses. We all have one sense more pronounced than any other sense. It could be our hearing, that we hear things. It could be our sight. We have even our third eye where we get pictures. I'm a very visual person, so I do get a lot of pictures. It could be even smelling, tasting, touching. Some people can lift objects and they get information. You're yawning too. Okay. You get information just by touching an object or by laying your hands on a body. It could be very healing. And you get information about where the energy isn't flowing on the body. Some people can do that. Or it could be an intuitive sensing. It can be a lot of different things. It could be that you're just very, you have a lot of empathy. And I go into this in my course, and we find out what is best for you. So maybe you know which sense is more pronounced for you. If you do, then what is it? Let me know. And can you say yes to it? Can you really say yes to it? And if you can, I want to go into that in the next step. So let me know in the chat if you can say yes. It's the first step. You have to say yes to it. Hearing, smell. Yes. Wonderful. Yeah, I've heard that actually. There's a lot of people can smell, and there's even smells. If you're cooking something, for example, that your mother cooked, and you smell it, and you go right back into your childhood, and the memories come up. Or you hear something and a memory comes up. It takes us back. It takes us into somewhere else. It's just totally amazing. Okay, great. So let's continue. Let's go to step number 2. Let me show you what step number 2 is. Step number 2 is the connection. And the connection, I want to, first of all, we have to say yes, okay? And the connection, there's so many things that keep us back from really going into this connection. There's 3 things I would like to share with you today. To let you know, just stay open if this resonates with you. What keeps most of us from getting the connection, a deeper connection with our higher guidance? And the first one is fear. And a lot of us are scared of it. And that's okay. It's okay because we are scared of the unknown. We are scared of evil things and things that we believe maybe about a connection with a higher guidance. In the beginning, when I started to channel, I believed that only holy people can have this kind of connection. So it is actually written somewhere in the Bible. And when I started to channel, I actually had someone come to my door and tell me that I wasn't allowed to do this, that I would not get anything that was higher truth, because in the Bible, it's somewhere, I don't know if it's I don't know where it is, but he said that only prophets can channel, and because they're all dead, the ones that were mentioned in the Bible, nobody else could do it, and I shouldn't do it. And I had to work on that at first. It was like a religious belief that I had. And fear, yeah, it needs to be respected and accepted. And I would recommend a process for dealing with fear to anyone who wants to deepen their connection, because getting rid of fear is so important. And the connection to your higher guidance, it should feel good. It should always be done out of love, not out of fear. I emphasize that so much. And if it comes from fear, you should stay away from it, because yes, there are evil things, but I have never, ever been connected to something evil. I go into the connections a little more in a moment. Yeah, so if there's any fear of the unknown, fear of what can come through, fear of what can happen to you, yeah, you need to take a look at it. And that's so important. And I do go into this in my course. And the second thing is our doubts. So many of us, we get downloads, we get messages, and then we doubt them. And I still do this. And I have been doing this for 30 years. I test a lot the things that come through me to see if they really happen, and they do. And there's still some things, some personal things, that I begin to doubt, because we have a very active mind, and our mind starts talking to us. Our personality checks in, our ego checks in. And this is important to know, to practice, to get to know what comes through so that we can leave these doubts. And there's also limiting beliefs that can come up for us, which can cancel the collection. For example, I can't do this, or I don't believe in it, or so-and-so said I shouldn't do this. And even our religious conditioning, like I said. And we need to have a look at those and see where they came from and maybe just to cancel them, change them. Anyway, to have a really good connection with our higher guidance, we should empty ourselves completely. When I connect to work with someone, I always ask that my ego and my personality, they go to the side, they go away. I empty myself. There should be no thoughts, no judgments, nothing of a personality, only an empty vessel can receive well. And for this, meditation is, among other things, a very, very good method to leave the ego out of it, to be thoughtless, to be, what do you call it, in the zone, in the flow, in the space in between inhaling and exhaling, whatever you want to call it. And some of us do meditate, some of us don't. But I would just like to try this out now with you. I would just like you to, if you say yes, you want to connect with your higher guidance, I would like to take you into a little guided meditation to connect with your inner guidance. So if you would like to close your eyes, just take a deep breath in and just soften your whole body for a moment. And just see how your breath comes and goes without you having to do anything. How your heart beats without you having to do anything. There's nothing to do. Just allow your whole body to soften, surrender. And go take all of your awareness from the outside into your body, into this body that you have as a vessel. And welcome all the inner guidance that is waiting to be received. And thank your guidance for being there for you, because there's always guidance there for you. You are so held. And allow yourself to open to receive. Connect with your heart. And the best way to connect with your heart is just to place a hand on it. And you're immediately connected. And the more we engage with our heart and free ourselves from so many things, the better the connection will be. All we need to do is to cultivate the desire to receive whatever wants to come through us. Whatever guidance is there for us, and we can always ask for it. And feel into your body. What is it you are feeling? Maybe you feel heat somewhere, or even some coldness. It's a tingling. I feel a tingling in the back of my legs at first. Maybe you feel some energy flowing through your body, or there's an opening somewhere. Maybe you hear a song. There's a song often comes through for me, which has a meaning for me at that very moment when it comes. Or maybe there's even a picture or the emotions coming through, a feeling or something coming through for you. It's completely different for everybody. Just keep breathing into it, allowing whatever wants to come through you to show itself and receive it. Open your heart just a little more to receive it. When I open, it's always like the universe comes and they're going, yay, great. Oh, she's opening, she's receiving it. It's like they're all being happy up there and celebrating. It's so good. Whatever it is for you, it's perfect. Even if there's nothing there for you, just know that your guidance is always there. So let's take another deep breath in. And then the deep breath. Right down into the bottom of your belly. Okay. And whenever you feel ready in your own time, you can gently open your eyes again. Let's take a moment to come back into your room. Feel your body. See what came up for you. If you want to share anything, then please feel free to write it in the chat or write it in the comments on Facebook. A lot of yawning going on here. Yeah. The first step was to open yourself and say yes to the higher guidance. And second step is feel the connection. And then we're going to go into step number 3, son. Okay. Tears, yes, it's just opening. When we open our heart, the tears are allowed to flow because it's really sacred tears that are coming because we're opening. Everything's good. Okay, so let's step into, let me see what do we got here? Wow, there's tightness. Just moved up near your shoulder blades. Okay, then just breathe into this tightness or ask it. What has it got to say? What's it got to tell you? Sometimes when the energy moves, it shows us where we're blocked. Okay. Pain in your belly. I just sit with it. If your body does not lie, you can even ask, what is this pain got to tell you? If it's a message, what would it say? What words would it have to tell you? Breathe into it. See if it goes on its own. Maybe there's a feeling there. So, which feeling would it be if you allowed the feeling to be felt? It's okay just to sit with it, see what happens. because the next step we're going into is to let the energy flow. And the energy flow. So even if you feel that it is stuck somewhere, maybe, I'm going to go into this now. Right. And for me, I told you that the energy first came through my hands as automatic writing. And I was guided to do this. I was able to ask, who's guiding my hand? Where does it come from? Does it have a name? Because often there were different energies that would come through. Depending also on who I worked with, where completely different energies came through. And sometimes the writing was huge, like a child's writing. Sometimes it was very, and even the words were just, there was no space between them. It was just completely different. And when I started working with people, there were guardian angels came through, archangels, beloved ancestors contacted me. There was parts of their souls came back, wanting to say things, bringing back parts of themselves that they needed to integrate again. There was always an extremely high loving energy. The name was particularly important for me because it creates a good connection. It's just like with people, if we know the name of the person, we can build a better connection than if we don't know the name. And every single name has a special vibration. The way we speak there's a vibration happens in our own body. When we speak, there's a vibration in our body. The messages come from a higher level that is much, much deeper than our earthly existence. They know these energies, they know us in a much deeper way than we know ourselves. They know what's good for us. They know our purpose. They know who is good for us. They know our next steps. They know what we need to know. And it often comes across with a lot of humor. We should not take ourselves so seriously. It is so important to have joy and we you know to see the humor in some situations and to leave the worry, to give the worry up. Even we can also receive images and symbols. This all takes practice, and it helps us to get more involved with our higher guidance. And what I found out, the more that came through, the more I needed to detox, to deal with certain issues, to learn the cosmic rules, which are much, much more different than the rules that we make here on Earth. I was confronted with many issues like death and loss and judgment, the karmic rules. A lot of things triggered a lot of spiritual issues. Over many years, I went through a period of learning, and it was so important for me to have someone at my side who was guiding me. And having this automatic writing, I was always able to if I wasn't understanding something, I would ask, what does this mean? Where does it come from? What do I have to learn? And I always got the answers, which when we get the answers from our higher guidance, it makes us a lot wiser, and we get to know different rules than most people usually understand. And what happened to me was my body refused to eat meat. I just couldn't get it. I wasn't able to swallow it, so I just stopped eating it. And I haven't eaten meat for 30 years now. It's different for each and every one of us. I'm not saying you're going to stop eating meat or anything like that. No, it may be different for you. You are here because you are ready to take this step. It is your own process, and it is unique for you, and it's completely different for everyone. You just need to trust that the inner decision has already been made for you. And I'd like to give you an example of this. Let me tell you about Birgit. Birgit was one of my clients. She trained with me, and now she trusts her own inner guidance 100%. She uses it for her work, uses it for making decisions, and she uses it for her relationships where she needs guidance, everything. She has tried and tested the results she gets, and she's never looked back. Her relationships are thriving, her work is going great, and she feels really happy. She has such a presence that she inspires other women whenever she walks into a room, and she feels so happy and fulfilled, much different than before she started doing this work. And she knows, just like I do, that we are not meant to go this journey on our own, because we all have our blind spots. And some things need to be cleared out at a deeper level, because some things need to be, some things we don't understand why things come up. We all need guidance in areas we don't understand. And I have been supported. First of all, I had this wise woman in the village. And when I learned enough from her, there was another mentor came and guided me for a couple of years, and another one. I've always had someone to guide me and take me to the next step, to what I needed to learn. Of course, we can say no to it, but I've always said yes to it. And I'm really glad that I have. I've been so supported, and I want to support others in this journey that I went on, in whatever journey they need to go on. But I know that we do have resistance. We sometimes refuse to do the work in different ways. We think we don't have enough time to do it. We don't have enough money. The circumstances are not right. The timing's not right. Or we don't trust the process, or we don't even trust the coach enough. This is your time. Yeah, your future is here. And just imagine being in tune with the answers, the messages that you need to have, being aware of your presence, being aligned with yourself, being clear on your purpose, in touch with your heart and your soul and your inner truth, knowing that there is so much guidance there for you on a higher level. And your confidence will be far reaching into every single area of your life. You will look and you will feel different. Others will see you in a completely different light. Trust me, it is like that. I've seen that with so many people. Okay, so that was the 3 steps. And I would like to ask you, what are you taking away with you today? What is it that has stuck with you? What are you taking away with you today? Let me know in the chat. And if you feel the call to go deeper, let's see what's coming up here. I never thought the burps were a form of channeling, but it makes so much sense. Yes, it does make so much sense. It's clearing. And it means also that you are not holding something for someone else. You're letting it go, which is good. I also go into that on the program, because we can take a lot on from other people, and we need to clear it. But the burps are good. Yeah, it feels like it's a kind of assistance. It is. It is definitely a kind of assistance. Yeah. I'm so glad that you've recognized that for yourself. So if you feel the call to go deeper, to unhook from the past and release the limitations, to experience more confidence in your higher guidance, or if this resonates with you, yeah, and perhaps it's not coming from you either, that's true. Yeah, something you can sit with and see what it's like for you in the future now. If this resonates with you, if you feel touched by what I've just told you, and if you know it's time for you to express yourself more in alignment with your purpose, If you know that more of you wants to come through into the world, then I know that you are so needed and I want to share something with you. It would be an honor for me to spend 30 minutes with you in a free confidence breakthrough session. And in this session, we will look at where you are now, where you would like to be, and we will make a mini plan for you to take with you so that you could start immediately. And if we feel that we are a really good fit to work on something together, we can discuss that too. And if not, don't worry, we'll stay friends. Now, I know that this is possible for each and every single woman. You are needed, you matter, and I'm here to support you with this. So this is the link where you can book a free 30-minute confidence breakthrough session with me. And we will also put it in the chat. So, yep, there it is. You can select a time which works well for you. And it would be an honor for me to meet you on this level and see where you would like to go and what is stopping you, and to create a small mini plan for you to take with you. So I would like to thank you so much for listening and for being here. And thank you for joining me on this journey today, taking you to say yes to your inner guidance. And let me know how it goes for you. So I would like to stay on. If there's any questions you would like to ask, I would like to, first of all, turn off the recording, and please let me know how you are. Thank you so much. Bye for now.